Yes, so the English Premier League is back, the EPL is back, and match week one didn't disappoint at all at all. The opening weekend brought a lot of goals, controversies, and some shocking results. In case you missed it, you did not miss anything, because I'm going to give you a full recap of what transpired, what happened in the first day of the opening week of the English Premier League and what it means for the season ahead. Just relax, sit down, and follow along with me. So let's start with the highlights, the goal scores, the team's performance, and stuff like that. Manchester City walloped Wolverhampton Wanderers 4-0 with Erling Haaland scoring brace and the new signing Cheki and Jalinda scoring one goal, registering a goal in their first day and first week of the EPL. What a shocking surprise. Then we come to Sunderland. Sunderland winning West Ham United 3-0. That was so shocking. That was a shocking result. Sunderland is one of the teams that was just promoted from the Premiership to the Championship to the English Premier League. And shockingly, the first weekend they gave West Ham United 3-0. Now let's talk about Chelsea. Oh my God. Chelsea drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace at home at Stamford Bridge. And I can tell you, Chelsea is supposed to be riding from the horse of them winning the FIFA Club World Cup as they beat PSG 3-0 on that final day. But it's surprising that they couldn't score a goal past Crystal Palace. In fact, Crystal Palace scored a goal that was ruled out for the defender Gueye obstructing the defense wall in front of the Chelsea's goalkeeper. That Eberechi Eze's goal would have been a contender for the goal of the season. That was a very wonderful free kick, a very wonderful goal that Eberechi Eze got. That guy is a great footballer. Now let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool, at the end of the day, was able to have an edge against their opponent. They scored 4-2. Now let's talk about the big match of the opening weekend. This is what we call El Clasico of Premier League. You know, when we have rivals that are always rivaling each other, it's always like this, where we have a Super Sunday starting on the opening week. Okay, my people, so Arsenal, Manchester United was at home and they couldn't score a goal past Arsenal. Arsenal managed to score one goal and it ended in favor of Arsenal 1-0. But when we look at the overall performance of Manchester United, we could see that they did a way lot better with 61 to 39% ball possession from Man U to Arsenal, 22 goals, 9 on target for Man U, 7 shots, and 3 on target for Arsenal. At the end of the day, even though overall possession, performance, and everything tilted in favor of Manchester United, but Arsenal had the biggest hit, which is the 3 points and 1 goal in their bag, and the race to title continues. So when we're talking about the Man U, when we look at the Man U setup, we could see that they fared better than what they did last season when we had Hoodlund, Garnacho, and co, and they couldn't just do. But this is the coming of Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and eventually introduction of Benjamin Sesko actually changed the way Manchester United play. You could see that in a very long time, Manchester United was able to hold ball, was able to spring passes, and thanks to those explosive attacks that Mbeumo and Cunha put up, that actually really affected Arsenal. I was just thinking, was this the same Arsenal that finished second last season and they couldn't play Man United? That was shocking. But I think Man United still need a lot of work to be done in their department, especially in the midfield. One would have thought that instead of allowing this guy from Leicester City, Ndidi Wilfred Ndidi, that went to Besiktas in Turkey, one would have thought that Manchester United would have bought Ndidi for their number 4. Yes, we know that Kobe Mino is placed that number 4 role, but he's still a very young individual coming up and still need to learn more from people ahead. And when we talk about Casemiro is a very experienced player, we know, but Casemiro is having a tiring leg. His legs are getting tired. So he's not like the Casemiro that we used to know. So we need or Manchester United need a number 4, a standing number 4, established number 4 that could break passes, defend, collect ball from the defenders, give it to the attacking midfielders, which is Fernandes and co, and take it to the offense to attack, to score goals. That's what Manchester United need. And we have some people in the lineup that they are still proposing if they could get before the season runs out, something like Carlos Baleba or Adam Watson. Those are good established midfielders that Man U can still look at for this the remaining part of the transfer window before it closes in August 31st. And when we also talk about Manchester United, let's look at the goalkeeping department, because it was Bayanda that was in between the sticks on Sunday against Arsenal. Yeah, he did well. Apart from the controversial goal, that is why I said this weekend or this past weekend was laced with a lot of shocking results, goals, and controversies. That was, to me, was a controversial goal. Even though the referee and the VAR looked at it again and they confirmed that was a goal, but I believe the goalkeeper, Manchester United, was shoved, and that displaced him from being able to punch the ball as expected, and eventually Califuori headed the ball inside the net, which to me should have been ruled as a foul. But that is what it is. Premier League is always full of dramas and controversies. It has started that same way. Okay, so now I heard somewhere in the news that Henderson of Manchester City is being tabled to come to Man U as a goalkeeper. Are we going to see Onana not playing regularly or going to another club, or is Onana still a number 1 for Manchester United? So while talking about that, let's look at the league table as it unfolded last week. Okay, so at the top of the table is Manchester City with 3 points and 4 goals, followed by Sunderland, 3 goals, 3 points, Tottenham, 3 goals, 3 points, Liverpool, 2 goals, 3 points, and like that and that. But if you look at Manchester United is already on the 15th position. And that is interesting because that was where they ended last season, and they're starting the season again on the 15th position. Are they going to be a contender for the top 4, even winning the league this season? Yes, we'll get to see at the end of the day. So in the spirit of that, if I may ask you, who was your player of the week? If you have time to watch the highlights and review all we have said, who was your player of the week? To me, it's Eberechi Eze. And will Man United reclaim their lost glory? That glory, Man United. Are they going to reclaim it by finishing at least top 4 this season? And which team do you think will surprise you or surprise everyone this season? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe so that we can follow our conversation from there. See you next time. Signing out.